The sun burst into the bedroom with an impudent ray, highlighting the picture that made Mark's legs numb. His wife, Lisa, the one he had lived with for 7 years, was making plans for the future, walking arm in arm, swearing eternal love, lying in his bed, with another man. The stranger, whose face he did not have time to really see, jumped up and, hastily pulling on his trousers, rushed out into the corridor. Lisa remained lying down, the crumpled sheet covering her almost naked body. Mark's world collapsed in an instant. Family comfort, plans for children, memories of happy days. Everything crumbled to dust, poisoned by betrayal. He didn't scream. He didn't break dishes. He didn't throw tantrums. There was an icy void inside him that absorbed all emotions, leaving only a cold determination. A divorce was inevitable. Mark, putting aside all the pain and rage, acted prudently and coolly. Lawyers, documents, meetings. He experienced all this in a daze. Lisa, who initially tried to justify herself, then turned to persuasion, and then to threats. She knew how much Mark loved his business, his brainchild, into which he had invested his whole soul and all his savings. The division of property was painful, but inevitable. According to the prenuptial agreement, Lisa was entitled to half of all her possessions. Mark reluctantly agreed. He gave her half of the apartment, half of his company's shares, and half of their shared savings. He watched her take it all away, feeling nothing but overwhelming hatred. Lisa was elated. She received a decent sum, an apartment in a prestigious area, and the prospect of receiving dividends from a profitable company. She considered herself a winner. She already imagined how she would live a carefree life, spending money and enjoying freedom. But Mark wasn't broken. He lost a lot, but he did not lose himself, his mind, and his will. He knew that just giving her everything and walking away meant letting her triumph over his pain. He decided to take revenge not in a fit of anger, but with cold, calculated cruelty. He started small. He studied Lisa's financial situation down to the smallest detail. He found out about her debts, her gambling addiction, and her connections with questionable personalities. He began to gather information like a spider weaving its web. Then he began to act. He surreptitiously, through his people, began spreading rumors about the financial unreliability of Lisa's company, about her connections with crime, about her incompetence in management. Rumors like poison ivy began to entwine her reputation. Her company's shares went down. At the same time, Mark began buying up Lisa's debts. He bought them through shell companies while maintaining anonymity. He was waiting for the right moment. Lisa, blinded by greed and self-confidence, did not notice the danger. She spent money left and right, without thinking about the future. She led an idle life, enjoying an imaginary triumph. When her company's shares fell to a critical level, Mark dealt a crushing blow. He declared himself the holder of most of Lisa's debts and demanded immediate repayment. She had no money. She tried to sell the apartment, but because of her damaged reputation, there were no buyers. Banks refused to give her a loan. She was trapped in a trap she had dug for herself. Mark watched her agony with cold satisfaction. He saw her self-confidence turn to fear, her pride turn to humiliation. He saw her world crumbling, how she was losing everything she had taken from him. He took everything from her. The apartment, stocks, savings, all this came under his control. He didn't leave her anything. Lisa was left with nothing. Without money, without a home, without a reputation. She was broken and humiliated. She realized that she had made a mistake by betraying the man who loved her. But it was too late. Mark stood on the balcony of his apartment, looking out at the city below. He felt empty. He had his revenge. He took everything from Lisa, but it didn't bring him relief. His heart remained cold and empty. He realized that revenge is a dish that is served cold, but it still leaves a bitter taste in his mouth. He turned away from the window and entered the house. He had to start all over again, to build a new life, without lies, without betrayal, without revenge. Will he ever be able to love again? Will he ever be able to forgive? He didn't know, but he knew he had to try. He walked over to the desk and opened the folder with the documents. There were plans for a new project, new ideas, new opportunities. He had to move on. He had to move on, and he started working. He began to build his life anew, brick by brick, with cold determination and the belief that one day he would be able to find happiness, even after revenge had left such a deep wound in his heart.